for Paige Luke. 2 assists, no goals in 9 games. She was playing back, played in the midfield, suffered a season-ending injury as Worrell brings it ahead for Binghamton. Luke suffered a season-ending injury in the conference opener against Maine. Of course, whenever you have a major injury like that, the question becomes, how do you come back? As Luke sends this one ahead, Davis waiting for it. Davis cuts inside, takes the shot, that one off the post. Davis tracking it down for Binghamton to finish the story on Luke. This season playing up front, leading America East in points per game. That hit the official, and it will go to Vermont. And in terms of coming back and what kind of shape she would be in to come back, she comes back in the offseason and sets a program record in the fitness test. Jakea Davis looking to advance. Out of play. Neil Bhattacharjee, head coach for Binghamton, saying, you know, as a coach, it's his job to motivate players, but sometimes it's the other way around, and the entire program just amazed at how well Paige Luke has come back from that injury from a year ago. Megan Baker sends it ahead. Luke the header, and it goes wide. So Binghamton opening with possession. Of course, the chance off the post, off the foot of Jakea Davis. To midfield. Krempowski getting a piece for Binghamton. There is Kessler. Sends it away. Bridget Kennedy backpedaling. Sends it back to the back line. First sustained possession. Remington. First sustained possession for Vermont this afternoon. Rebecca Kessler on the season. That's her 15th game. She's got a 7-1-4 record, just a .85 goals against, 792 save percentage. All improvements over her numbers from a season ago, tested here off the foot of Aubrey Bowe. Bowe looking to play that one again as Falvo sent it away. Garofalo got a piece, but here's Bowe for Vermont. Couldn't get that one by Buckwalter. Krempowski slides it ahead. Krempowski, a freshman, really has grown as this season has gone along. Nice move by Worrell. She looks ahead for Luke, but Bridget Kennedy clears it away for Vermont. On the far side, Garofalo gets a piece for Binghamton. Bowe after it, as well as Lauren DeGroot for Vermont. Here's Buckwalter for Binghamton. Worrell settles it. Baker ahead, looking for Luke. Each team with a shot, neither on goal. Bearcats looking to change that. Swept away to midfield. Falvo, the Bearcats. Sent it ahead, bumped down. Baker able to intercept. Baker sends it to space. Buckwalter gets there and sends it wide. Torrey Snyder. Blanco, second chance at this one. Now it goes back to Krempowski. Blanco. Davis giving chase. And out to grab it for Vermont coming out of the cage. Carafoli. Callie Carafoli has played the bulk of the minutes this season. Just over 80% in goal for Vermont. Garofalo picks it free. The slide by Krempowski. He created the turnover. Now Krempowski gets it back to Kessler. Something that Neil Bhattacharjee really likes about the way Krempowski has grown her game this season. He said she gives this team a sense of physicality in how she plays defense. It took her some time to adjust. The entire preseason, and then even a few weeks of games to get the feel for the college game, but she has a great feel for it right now. Nice turn to Groot, but the ball heads out of play. Ali Victoriano throws it in. She's played a bit of a larger role than maybe was slated to be the case for Binghamton when this season began, as Luke brings it to midfield. Buckwalter racing, so is Torrey Snyder for Vermont. She gets there first. Carafoli gets it out to midfield. Victoriano saw her minutes increase dramatically with the season-ending injury to Brooke Herber. Herber, member of the America East preseason team a season ago. One of the top defenders in the conference. And Victoriano, part of the plan to replace her after the early season-ending injury to the senior Herber. It's Torrey Snyder. Snyder assist on the season, sends this one ahead. Garofalo able to get the initial header on it. Luke giving chase, and Paige Luke puts it in a good spot to pick it back up. Bridget Kennedy tracking her. There's Buckwalter. Falvo to Krempowski, one touch to Luke. Back to Blanco. Buckwalter, second chance at this one. Sends it wide for Megan Baker. Baker looking for a step, gets in a dangerous spot. Davis with the goal! Jakaya Davis! Her 8th of the season gives Binghamton a 1-0 lead. Nice effort by Baker on the right side to set it up. And Jakaya Davis, who leads America East with 4 game winners, picks up her 8th overall and gives the Bearcats the 1-0 lead. So Megan Baker doing the work on the wing, and Davis, who hit a post earlier today, able to find the net on that one. Davis came into the game second in America East in goals. She'll stay there at least for the moment. It's Brianna Andrioli from NJIT who has 9 on the season. Davis now with 8. So the Bearcats with the lead. Krompowski, we talked about her physicality, saw it there as she heads down to the turf, got tangled up with Sydney Remington. Falvo giving chase. It's going to be the goalkeeper, Rebecca Kessler, coming out to make the stop. Kessler directing traffic as Garofalo and Falvo come upfield. Krompowski the header. Here's Paige Luke. Luke looking to thread the needle to Davis, and why not? We've seen her hit her post and get a goal. Trying to feed her as much as possible. 100 for Vermont is Della Weir. Weir, nifty move along the near sideline, sends this one ahead. Garofalo after it with DeGroot. Back to Remington. Remington slides this one over. Battle for it, and looks like that was Megan Baker who won it. She's been doing it on both sides, had the assist on the Jakaya Davis goal, and there defensively doing the job for the Bearcats. It was Madeline Gardner and Baker after it. I mentioned Gardner with 4 goals, DeGroot with 5, Remington with 6. That is a total of 15 of Vermont's 17 on the season. Davis and Weir along the near sideline. There's Bridget Kennedy with the throw. Victoriano intercepts. Remington Buckwalter, nice one-touch ahead to Davis. Davis and Kennedy, stride for stride down the near sideline. Buckwalter gets it to Victoriano. Baker again. Worrell, the sophomore Worrell, a bit of an unsung hero, of course, with the big numbers put up by Luke and Davis, as this one's going to come back to Vermont. Not that Alexis Worrell's numbers are anything to sneeze at. 3 goals and an assist on the season for 7 points. But she's really found herself in a role to facilitate, try to create some space for Luke and for Davis. Remington. Davis, though, Paige Luke gets that one back. Here is Worrell. Buckwalter. Another one whose numbers may kind of get overshadowed by the stats put up by Davis and Luke, but Buckwalter, terrific season. 3 goals, 3 assists on the year. Preseason All-America East selection, had 5 goals as a freshman last season, so she's a threat whenever she has it. Bearcats keep control. One can get through some traffic, but Snyder on the back line for Vermont gets it out to midfield. Blanco for Binghamton, battling for it. Here's Garofalo, heads it down. Borrell fighting through. Physicality is a big part of her game. You saw her manage that one between a pair of catamounts. She'll have another chance at this one. Slides to get it free. Davis touching it back. Blanco got it to some space. Looks like, no, it will not stay in play. Heads out. Catamounts wondering why they don't get the throw, and now they will. There is Bridget Kennedy. Toriano on the throw. Blanco sets this one up. Blanco, a transfer from the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. Put up 25 assists while with that program, 7th most in that program's history. We're all giving chase and cannot keep it in play. Davis. There's Kennedy. DeGroot steps up for Vermont and maybe stepped up a bit much. She bumped with Krempowski, and Krempowski draws the whistle. As Krempowski went down, DeGroot had the whistle. DeGroot, just a goal last season. A couple seasons ago, 5 goals in 15 games. Last season, 1 in 12. But as we mentioned, back up to 5 this season as this bounces to Carafoli. Carafoli, .830 save percentage, just a .78 goals against this season. She has also improved quite a bit from her numbers last season, which were also solid. Last season, 1.27 goals against, a .757 save percentage. This season, leading America East in both of those categories. Again, .830 save percentage, a .78 goals against. Has given one up here early to Jakaya Davis. She would not be alone, though, in that category, as Davis with 8 goals on the season. DeGroot with a foot on it. Blanco gets this one back to Victoriano. Allison Falvo sends it ahead. Garofalo to Blanco. A lot of praise for Sofia Garofalo from Neil Bhattacharjee. Garofalo coming into this season, as she might be tested here again. Garofalo coming in, preseason All-America East as a defender. Bhattacharjee feeling like she should be in serious consideration for the Conference Defender of the Year. Also mentioned Maddie Cole from UNH as a contender. But Garofalo's distribution, dealing with crosses and services, just having a terrific year. A big reason why Rebecca Kessler last 3 games really hasn't been too busy in goal for Binghamton. Snyder grabs it for Vermont. Garofalo first to it for the Bearcats. It's been a struggle for Vermont to get it to this point of the field so far, and when it has been there, Falvo, Garofalo have both done a nice job on the back line for Binghamton. Megan Baker on the throw. She's also been a part on both sides of the field. The assist on the Davis goal. We've seen her make a terrific defensive play as well to frustrate a Vermont advance. If you're just joining us, these are the top two teams in America East. Binghamton up 4 points over Vermont. This is the final regular season game for the Bearcats. That means a win or tie here for Binghamton clinches the Bearcats' third regular season America East title in 4 years. A win for Vermont pulls the Catamounts to within one, as again, Binghamton will be done for the regular season after today. Vermont closes its regular season out Thursday at Albany. Albany in last place in America East. It is Davis advancing. Davis lines it up, but the slide breaking it up for Vermont. Nice play by Amelia Auditori. Auditori, a senior midfielder. Terrific play defensively. Although the Bearcats a chance to set it up here. A look at Anna Buckwalter. As a sophomore in high school, Daniel Boone Area High School in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, third in the nation with 30 goals that season. Krompowski will chase it down. Get some company as DeGroot is there, taking it away. Here's Aubrey Bowe. Gardner racing along with Megan Baker. Gardner tries to turn the corner, reverses direction, sends this one across. Bowe couldn't get there because Blanco did for Binghamton. Luke intercepts. Chip free, Krompowski's on it. There's Worrell. Alexis Worrell, 14th ranked recruit out of Canada, coming to this Binghamton University program a season ago. Had an injury, limited to 9 games. Much bigger role on the team this season as she carries down. Snyder, nice job to take it away. Megan Baker now up to 2 goals and 4 assists on the season as she throws it in after the assist earlier today on the Davis goal. Garofalo backpedals and heads it down. It's been Bridget Kennedy who's had the tough task of marking up Jakea Davis. Knocks it loose there, goes out of play. Victoriano picking it up. Bridget Kennedy. Member of the all-rookie team in America East back in 2023. Krompowski is Baker calling for her. Krompowski gets it to her. Baker gets a step, puts it across. Snyder's there. Snyder for Vermont, Garofalo for Binghamton have both been erasers on the back line from so many potential chances. Gardner racing, gets this one to Bowe, lines it up, and it goes wide. Aubrey Bowe, Shenango Forks High School graduate, just down the road here from the Bearcat Sports Complex. Bowe on the season, a goal and an assist. 14 shots on goal, that's second on the team, so she's been a big part of generating chances for this Catamounts team. Again, doesn't have the numbers that Remington, DeGroot, and Gardner have put up this season, but a real threat. Victoriano chips it away, trying to do the same against Kennedy, gets some help from Davis. Davis to Luke, a little give and go here. Davis sends it in front, Snyder slides, and it's Carafoli who picks it up. Here's Weir. Man, meeting Weir on the deflection is Blanco. Luke back to Buckwalter. Luke to Buckwalter again. Again, a tie for Binghamton does get Binghamton the regular season title here today, the conference championship. But Neil Bhattacharjee saying earlier in the week it's not in his team's DNA to play for a tie. They want the win here. If you're thinking strictly in terms of clinching the America East regular season championship as the Bearcats on top 1-0, it would actually take 2 goals to keep Binghamton from doing that. If this score continues, it's Victoriano carrying ahead. Buckwalter back to Blanco. Krompowski looking for Worrell. Snyder went to make a play on it. It gets by both Worrell and Snyder. And with it, Worrell in front for Luke. Carafoli chips it away, and that hits the official. Second time today that has happened. Been pretty good pace to this one, and in fairness to the official, he's been in the middle of what's become some fast-moving action here this afternoon. Snyder sends it to midfield. Blanco works it to the sideline. Vermont with control. We have a substitution coming in. Jaslyn Oviedo comes in for Aubrey Bowe. Oviedo took part in the Dominican team's 2020 Olympic qualifiers. Chip loose. Kennedy, that one ate her up, and it goes off her foot. Bearcats control. Paige Luke. Bridget Kennedy. She didn't have her hands full enough with Davis, now taking on Paige Luke, and makes a nice play. Weir back to Kennedy. This one past Victoriano and headed to the sideline as DeGroot keeps it in play, or did she? No, she did not. Caught a bit of the sideline. Here's Sam Allen coming in for Binghamton. Megan Baker heads out. Sam Allen assisted on the Isabella Martillo goal in the 1-1 tie at New Hampshire last time out for Binghamton. Tori Snyder slow in getting up. Snyder back up and running. Luke to Victoriano. Here's Davis. Nifty pass by Davis as Buckwalter brings it down. Bridget Kennedy has had to mark up Davis, Paige Luke, and now Buckwalter. Allie Victoriano comes out as Mackenzie Brotherston comes in for Binghamton. Also in for the Bearcats, Grace McCasland. Number 4, freshman McCasland. McCasland is in for Jakea Davis. Brotherston. McCasland looking to advance. Here's Luke. Able to spin away and slide this one to Buckwalter. Does the same for Orell. Here's DeGroot for Vermont. Trying to get by Falvo. DeGroot now dealing with Brotherston, who slides and pokes it out of play. Brotherston, All-State in New Jersey a season ago. She'll head back. Here is Farah Yacoub coming in for Vermont, sophomore midfielder. Actually played boys high school, or boys soccer, I should say, in high school. Snyder sends it off the corner, still on the turf as Krempowski. Check that, actually, that might have been Brotherston who gets it away for Binghamton. No, it was Buckwalter. Buckwalter again gets it free. Here's Worrell. Back to Buckwalter, give and go. And Worrell carries ahead. On a slide, gets it loose. Nice job by DeGroot on the slide. Here's Snyder. Garofalo bumping with Weir, and it goes out of play. Sam Allen on the throw. Weir gets a foot on it and does a nice job to advance. Delaware sophomore forward just past the reach of Oviedo. Brotherston. Talked about Allie Victoriano, freshman defender, helping to make up the loss of senior Brooke Herber from her season-ending injury. Part of that mix has been Brotherston as well. In fact, she was playing a bigger role earlier in this season before she got an injury herself, which took her out for a few games. Now has been a main sub defensively, coming in off the bench. Buckwalter over to Luke. Here's Worrell. Luke under it, and a couple of Catamounts go down. Luke chips it free. McCasland giving chase, but Weir gets there first. Yacoub Slides this over. We're one touch back to Kennedy. Here's Jakub in the midfield. Emma Waring. Garofalo gets a piece. Snyder ahead for Jakub. There's Gardner. Ware meets up and stays on her feet. Ware and Brotherston went after it. Knocked around to Groot, try to put it on. Falvo gets it free and cleared away by Worrell. Jakub sends it down for Warren. 10 to go here in the first. The slide by Worrell. A couple of Ontario natives and Emma Warren and Alexis Worrell combining on that play. Warren for Vermont, Worrell for Binghamton. Kennedy puts on the Jets, gets by McCaslin. Kennedy carries some more, puts it on the save. Rebecca Kessler with the stop. Blanco works it back to Kessler. Falvo, low line drive. Blanco taps it looking for Luke. Weir steps in the way. Snyder. Over to Warren. Warren chasing. Allen gets there too for Binghamton and knocks it, I believe, off of Warren. So the Bearcats with possession. Substitution here for Vermont as Kaylee Kreutzer comes in. Also Lauren Clark and Isabella Martillo coming in for Binghamton. Buckwalter and Worrell come off. Lauren Clark, team's offensive MVP a couple of seasons ago with 4 goals. That led Binghamton, had 3 goals last season, and now you see Paige Luke returning up front for Binghamton, Davis emerging, Alexis Worrell as a sophomore playing a bigger role. It's just maybe the ground is shifted under the feet a bit of Lauren Clark, but a real valuable sub and a dangerous weapon for Binghamton to be able to bring off the bench. Again, a player who has led this team in goals during a season a couple of years ago. Oviedo works this one back. Brotherston has to go back. Proper spot for the throw. Kreutzer got a touch. It's Snyder who works it back to Carafoli. Remington. Ahead. Off the foot of Oviedo. Slides it for Weir, but good advance there by Falvo to knock it away. Falvo, a senior, trying to be part of a crew to win its 3rd America East regular season title in 4 seasons. And for Falvo, this stretch for Binghamton coming off of a high school career in which her team won its final 35 games. New Hartford High School in New Hartford, New York. In fact, over those 35 games, New Hartford outscored opponents 195-7. So it's been quite a stretch of pretty successful soccer for Allison Falvo. And she'd like to keep it going. She's had success off the field as well, a 3.69 GPA in psychology. Snyder lines it up. Martillo for Binghamton. Try to make a play on it. Here is Jakub. Oviedo works it to space, but that space filled by Falvo. McCaslin couldn't get it by Oviedo. Nice job to advance. Allen tips it. Krempowski gets it out of danger. Lauren Clark slides it by Warren. And here is Snyder. Brotherston able to head it away. Vermont, the shot advantage 4-3, the shot on goal advantage 2-1. Those numbers might belie a bit what we've seen with our eyes in terms of the possession for Binghamton, but lately Vermont's been able to carry, and here Weir trying to set it up. Remington couldn't advance. The slide by Martillo. McCaslin trying to take it away, couldn't. Remington pokes it ahead. Oviedo now with it. Jakub launches it and wide. Substitution coming in for Vermont. Elizabeth Sommerling. Sommerling is in for Remington. Sommerling, junior midfielder. Brotherston back to Falvo. McCaslin couldn't time up the header. She'll get a second chance to touch. Martillo couldn't advance. Nice play by Jakub. She keeps control, works it to the back line for Kennedy. Here is Snyder. Snyder from distance. Pretty good spot there. DeGroot trying to make a play, gets it back to Jakub. And the slide by Worrell, or pardon me, that was Martillo. Knocks it free for Binghamton. Martillo had the goal for the Bearcats in the 1-1 tie last week against New Hampshire. That's the latest game for Binghamton. A game which saw the Bearcats outshoot on goal New Hampshire, but the Wildcats able to earn the tie against the Bearcats up in Durham, New Hampshire last weekend. Neil Bhattacharjee pleased with the effort his team had. It's the kind of effort that will win games far more often than wouldn't, but last week it was just a 1-1 tie is how that one went down. Jakub bounces it wide. Mentioned the goal by Martillo, her first of the season, but one of 9 Bearcats with goals this season. As much as Paige Luke and Ja'Kay Davis have carried the offense, they haven't carried it alone. There's some depth here, some depth of scoring for the Bearcats. Not only 9 goal scorers, but 6 multiple goal scorers on this Bearcat roster this season. Falvo sweeps it away. Clark waiting for it and brings it ahead. Luke able to bounce off some contact and send it forward. Kennedy, after the substitutions, playing more in the middle on the back line. Kreutzer to Kennedy. On to Groot. Getting whistled as she went to make a play on it. Final 30 seconds here of this first half. Garofalo, she can send it. So we'll see if she can get it in a dangerous spot for Binghamton. Big leg on Garofalo. Worrell giving chase along with Someling. Here's DeGroot. And that'll do it for the first half. Jakea Davis with the goal for Binghamton. Make it 3.5 coming into the second half here today. Oviedo touches first for Vermont. Over to Emma Warren. Tori Snyder. Abigail Mills, junior defender, gets in on the action for Vermont. DeGroot. Mixed up with Krempowski. Chip free, Warren trying to get out of danger. And Warren gets it by Worrell. That one gets past Remington. Whistle. You saw DeGroot's arms go up as if she was wondering where the whistle was, and Sydney Remington did indeed draw it. So Vermont with possession. Here's Warren. Gets that one into some space. We are after it, and she's sandwiched between a pair of Bearcats, Baker and Blanco. Buckwalter to Davis, back to Buckwalter. Free in space, and Warren is there. Emma Warren from Erin, Ontario. Her sister Kyla, or sibling Kyla, plays rugby at the University of Guelph. Here is Madeline Gardner. Oviedo going over for the corner. You see DeGroot in position for Vermont. Oviedo sends it. DeGroot leapt. So did Kessler. She got a piece. Still Vermont with control. Back to Kennedy. Warren shot blocked. Getting a piece for Binghamton is Falvo. She's shaken up as it goes out of play. Falvo might need a moment. Stoppage here. So Falvo got the block. That was a big one for Binghamton. Vermont was working off the corner. See her on her feet, stretching it out. Take a look here. Emma Warren put it on. And Falvo staying in, so. And she'll get a touch here as she takes it from Kessler. Weir got a piece, knocks it out of play. This time it's Abigail Mills sending it out of play. Ali Victoriano to throw in for Binghamton. Victoriano All-state selection, East Setauket, New York native. Snyder over to Warren. Weir slips, that allows Victoriano to make a play on it. Oviedo and Buckwalter collide. Kennedy sends it. Here is DeGroot. DeGroot intercepted by Buckwalter. Krempowski over to Victoriano, gets it to midfield. The big three for Vermont have been looking for their chances. It's been Kennedy and Bowe, though, who have gotten the 2 shots on goal for Vermont. Again, the big three of Remington, DeGroot, and Gardner have really yet to get on track. This could change here. Gardner met by Krempowski. And Blanco gets it away. She'll have a second chance at this one. This time gets it to midfield. Mills heads it. Warren settles under it. Baker racing to it. Couldn't quite finish the interception on Gardner. Baker marking up Gardner. Now Worrell came in. That left Warren some space. She plays it ahead. Garofalo from the back line gets it to midfield. Tori Snyder. DeGroot. Victoriano. Buckwalter to Garofalo. She's been such an outlet on that back line all season for Binghamton. Knows exactly where to go with it. Here's Warren and Buckwalter. Warren finds Oviedo, who gets it back to Snyder. Warren with DeGroot streaking. She'll pick it up. Across, Victoriano got it out of danger, at least for the moment. Gardner trying to tee it up. She'll hand it off instead. Warren from distance, and it's bouncing wide away from the leap of DeGroot. She gave it a shot, did DeGroot, but a bit too high, and the Bearcats still holding on to this 1-0 lead. Have to figure Vermont will get more aggressive here as the minutes chip away. DeGroot intercepts, looking for Gardner. Baker there for Binghamton. And there's the whistle after the contact. Both players went down to the turf twice. Gardner and Baker. Baker looks like she maybe got knocked around on her right foot, but Snyder's setting it up. Kessler under it and makes the stop. Kessler didn't settle back. She wanted to make sure she came out to pluck that one. Kessler, a big part of the win by Binghamton in the America East quarterfinals last season in penalty kicks. Binghamton won it 3-2 as Kessler stopped 4 of 6 penalty kicks that she saw. Here's DeGroot. Remington. Weir And Victoriano after it. Weir gets it back to Remington. Here's Weir. Baker pokes it loose, then the slide. She's had a terrific game as Megan Baker here today. Looked like Weir touched last, but maybe not. Looks like, I was going to say it looked like Vermont will control based on the official, but I was wrong. Bearcats with it. Garofalo. Most powerful leg on the team, gets it near midfield. Snyder bumps it down, quickly met by Worrell, and here's Krempowski for the Bearcats. Emma Warren to throw in. Couple of goals as a sophomore last season for Emma Warren. No goals, but a couple of assists this season. Blanco sends it to space. Here's Davis racing. And racing with her is Abigail Mills to knock it out of play, but corner coming for the Bearcats. Buckwalter to set it up. Again, never a bad strategy, at least it hasn't been lately, to try to get Warren, or Jakea Davis, I should say, going. And swept away. Auditori got it out of danger. Bearcats control as it goes out of to the sideline. Megan Baker on the throw. Davis presents herself. Off the foot of Mills. Looked like Davis was trying to draw as many to her as possible, as we've got Martillo checking in. She'll come in for Worrell. Luke to Martillo. Nifty play, at least it looked like it until the whistle. Snyder, graduate student for Vermont, really has taken on a bigger and bigger role these last two seasons. Snyder had 689 minutes career entering last season, 1,200 minutes, more than 1,200 minutes last season. And of course, a mainstay on the back line this season. Bridget Kennedy. And Vermont will control. Well, neither team with a shot, nor obviously a shot on goal here in the second half. That's fine for the Bearcats. Holding on to this 1-0 lead, Garofalo. Luke going after it, so is Kennedy for Vermont. H. Luke, reigning America East Offensive Player of the Week. Warren gets it by Buckwalter, but not by Baker. Auditori. Garofalo settles this one. Now bumped away from the ball by Gardner. Gardner at 5'4", giving up some size to the 5'9" Garofalo. Garofalo set to tee it up. First team All-America East last season. If you ask your coach, he's on pace to do that again this season. Auditori got a header on it. Davis tracks it down for Binghamton. Game's lone goal scorer. Gets that one back to Victoriano. Pavo ahead to Buckwalter. Nice touch, but a bit too long for Victoriano. And if you're thinking in terms of the America East regular season title, essentially a 2-goal deficit for Vermont, because a tie gets Binghamton the America East regular season title. Warren tangled up with Megan Baker, who may have taken a shot up high. Second time in this half, Baker's gone down. Actually, check that. It was Falvo who went down earlier. So Baker, this is the first time she's had to take herself up off the turf. Looks like she's doing just that and ready to stay in the contest. Well, she will come out, and Sam Allen steps in for Binghamton. Free substitution for the Bearcats. Tori Snyder set to send it. Martillo chasing it down. Victoriano the same. Trying to get a second chance on that one. Can't control. Martillo does. Slide by Auditori, not quite good enough, as Jakea Davis sends it ahead for herself and wins that race. Davis with Luke trailing. Davis across looking for Luke. And Snyder does a nice job to get it away from Martillo. Again, each team still looking for its first shot of this second half. Martillo, or pardon me, Garofalo midfield. Gets the header on it. And Martillo sends it deeper into the Vermont end, but that will roll out of play. Substitution for the Catamounts. Aubrey Bowe comes in as Sydney Remington is out. Warren coming back on it for Vermont, taken down by Allen. Martillo ahead for Buckwalter. And Kroposki gets it to the back line. Falvo, Victoriano ahead to Blanco. Allen won't be able to catch up to this one, so Warren to throw in for Vermont. Luke steps in for Binghamton. Vermont keeps possession. Gardner wrapped up with Allen. Gardner breaks free. Kroposki trying to make a play on it. Gardner, nice job keeping it alive for Vermont. DeGroot down to the turf as Falvo plays it ahead for Martillo. Buckwalter slides it to midfield. Blanco couldn't get it away from Weir. And here is Carafoli settling for Vermont. Allen knocks it free. Here's Krompowski. Krompowski knocked down by Oviedo. Garofalo lines it up. Davis got a piece. Here's Martillo. Not sure she quite got all she wanted to into that one. Snyder sends it away. Blanco over to Victoriano. It's Davis and Kennedy. Kennedy knocks it out of play. Davis turns the corner, looking for some help in front. Martillo closest to it, but knocked out of play there by Abigail Mills. Sets up the corner for Buckwalter. For the first time in this game, Breeze picking up, and it's picking up in the direction of Buckwalter's kick. That one knocked around and comes out of the box. Blanco heads it to Victoriano, who sends it out of play. So Vermont setting up near midfield. Allowing for a substitution here. Yakub comes in for Oviedo. Kennedy backs up. Brings it by Davis, at least for the moment. Davis stride for stride. Victoriano got a piece as it heads out of play. Actually, Weir evidently made the last touch on that one because Victoriano is set to throw in. Kennedy tracks it down. Snyder calling for Kennedy to send it to Carafoli. That's exactly what Kennedy did. And here is Auditori. Sends it to midfield. Bo trying to break free, but the slide by Victoriano knocks it loose and out of play. And still no shots for either side here in the second half. I don't mean just shots on goal, I mean shots. Here is Gardner. Gardner 4 goals on the season, advancing one-on-one with Garofalo. Tough assignment for her as Gardner looks for some help and finds it in Weir, puts on the shot, and a goal! Weir ties it at 1. Delaware, sophomore forward, picks up her first of the season. We've talked about the big three for Vermont combining for 15 of the 17 goals. Well, we're able to provide a massive tally there. Not part of that big three, but certainly emerging here in her sophomore campaign. And we are tied at 1. So Gardner picks up her 3rd assist of the season to go along with the 4 goals. So Gardner now with 11 points on the year. Warren sends it ahead. Allen works that one back to midfield. Actually, check that. That was Falvo who worked it back to midfield. Here is Allen with the slide, and Vermont keeps possession. Auditori ahead for Gardner. Gardner, and that goes wide. Orel coming in for Martillo. Megan Baker back in the contest. She'll come in for Sam Allen. So Vermont, a goal away from keeping their hopes for an America East regular season title alive. Binghamton can clinch said title with a tie here today. That's where we are right now, tied at 1 apiece. Warren. DeGroot cuts to it, gets there ahead of Blanco. Over to Weir. Here's Weir. Kennedy from distance, and it's bouncing wide. Here is Garofalo, kicking with the wind. Davis looking to turn the corner on Snyder. She does. Kay Davis, a goal today. Davis puts it on the stop made by Carafoli. We've seen Davis score, hit a post, and now pick up her 2nd shot on goal of the afternoon. She now has both of Binghamton's shots on goal. Kennedy with the header, Davis with control, or at least for the moment, quickly drew the double team. Carefully sets it up for Snyder. Orel, the bump and the takeaway. Back to Buckwalter. From Posky. Here is Baker. Works this one across. Davis the header, and still in the air. Luke gets a piece, and Carafoli plucks it out of danger. Kylie Carafoli leading America East in goals against and save percentage. Weir, the goal scorer for Vermont. Goes to the back line. Kennedy overshoots Mills, and Carafoli with it. Davis back to Buckwalter. Here's Krumposki. Megan Baker, an assist today on the Davis goal. Met by Gardner. Gardner will get control for Vermont, and a substitution coming up for the Catamounts. Back in is Remington. And Remington comes in for Aubrey Bowe. Dive by Mills, and she's still on the turf, slowly getting up as Davis carries ahead. Davis turning the corner once again, or at least trying to. Krumposki trying to make a play on it. She slips, or got some help slipping. Gardner vehemently disagreeing with the whistle. Krumposki 17, Gardner coming from her right, and the contact. It's Garofalo and Blanco by the ball for Binghamton. Number 30, Garofalo. Garofalo through the wall, the save by Carafoli, and Snyder gets it out of danger. Great reaction by Carafoli, and Snyder right there as well. Oviedo comes in for Auditori for Vermont. Also, Jakea Davis coming out for Binghamton as McCaslin comes in. Davis, the goal for Binghamton, and also with two of Binghamton's now 4 shots on goal. Luke and Garofalo with the others. Buckwalter setting up for Binghamton. For Garofalo in front, but Worrell picks it up. Yakub gets it out of danger. Blanco tried to put it back in danger, but it bounces out of play. Time becoming a factor. Again, a tie gets Binghamton the America East regular season title and the #1 seed in the postseason tournament. Here's Luke. Chip free. Nice play as Oviedo picks it up. Looking forward to Groot. Garofalo heads it away. Blanco got a piece of the midfield for Binghamton. Here's Warren. Remington. Over to Weir, at least looking for Weir, but Victoriano steps in to break it up. Mills works it to Snyder. Here's Warren. Krumposki in position, and Worrell with the slide, but Vermont with possession. DeGroot. Kennedy getting it to Snyder. Warren carrying as Blanco is able to intercept. It's in the air, Remington under it. Krempowski the same for Binghamton. Buckwalter draws 3 Catamounts to her. Remington able to come out with it, at least for the moment, as she and Krempowski slide down. Blanco got it loose. Luke charging, and Mills gets it to Carafoli in time. Warren back to Mills. Blanco sliding along with Remington at midfield. Here's Oviedo. Back to Mills. Victoriano tried to come across, but it's going to be Vermont possession. Past Luke on the pass. Caslin couldn't connect with Luke. Now Worrell, the slide, knocks it out of play. By the way, Worrell's right shoe untied. Don't know if that'll come into play. Baker on the back line. Krempowski at midfield. Coming away with it, Yakub for Vermont. To some space, DeGroot racing to it. She gets there. Back to Weir, but Victoriano in an advantageous spot for the Bearcats. Helps to break it up. McCaslin carries ahead. Snyder able to step in front and take it away. Here's Remington. Down on the slide, but Blanco got a piece, and Buckwalter gets it back to midfield. McCaslin got by not 1, but 2 Catamounts. Here's Luke. Luke and McCaslin coming across. Luke. Here's Oviedo taking it away, and a whistle as both Oviedo and Luke are down on the turf. Again, a tie or win gives the Bearcats the America East regular season title. Approaching 10 minutes left in this one. This is the final game of the regular season for Binghamton. Vermont has 1 left against last place UAlbany in Albany on Thursday. Again, if the Catamounts are thinking about keeping the possibility of an America East title alive, in essence, the Catamounts down a goal for that scenario. Down a goal in this game, they need the win. Davis for Binghamton in the first half. Weir, her first of the season. In the second half for Vermont. For Davis, her 8th goal of the season, has her 2nd in America East. Oviedo. Near sign for Warren. One-on-one with Worrell. Got it by her, but Baker steps in. She continues a terrific game. Baker leads herself. Baker tries to turn the corner, taken down, but gets back up. Baker in front. Snyder able to sweep it away. There's Blanco, sends it wide. Substitutions coming in, 2 for each team. Martillo and Davis are back in. Worrell goes out, as does McCasland. Will take a spot on the back line. That bumps Kennedy back to the middle of that back line. A slip by Warren, recovers quickly. Martillo, some fresh legs are on her. And don't know if that played a factor in that turnover. And it was a quick breather for Davis on the bench. She's back out there for Binghamton. And we'll have a stoppage here so Baker can tie her shoe. Baker again, approaching 8 minutes left to go. Snyder bumping with Martillo. These two teams have proven to be the class of America East this season. And you have to wonder, regardless of the outcome here today, if these two teams will meet again in the coming weeks. Bearcats, of course, would love to have that match here. Krempowski down to the ground after bumping with Gardner, both back on their feet. Buckwalter couldn't get it by Snyder. Krempowski will take this moment to adjust. Time counting down. Krempowski gets back on her feet. Sydney Krempowski, Dobbs Ferry, New York native, again just has improved so steadily as the season has gone along. Physicality, big part of her game. In the air, Carafoli plucks it. Davis making it interesting for Binghamton, as she has all season. Kennedy gets it away. DeGroot. Martillo looking for Davis, who down to the turf after the contact with Remington, so Binghamton with possession. Garofalo making her way. She'll be kicking with the wind, although this distance really isn't a problem for Garofalo. It's a matter of where she wants to place it. And she'll try her chance at the net, but sends it too high. Binghamton approaching 6 minutes away from the America East regular season championship, if this score stands. Buckwalter heads it down. And I'm not sure the official meant that whistle. Oh, it looked like for the third time the ball hit the official. That's, again, the third time it's happened today. Davis, the header, and it goes wide. When you think about it, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. Yes, 3 times a lot this afternoon, but action moves pretty quickly there. You have to be in position. Victoriano to throw in for Binghamton, under 5 to go. Kennedy across to Warren. Warren has tried to initiate from the back line often here this afternoon. Gardner. She's dealing with both Baker, who now backs off. Garofalo steps up on Gardner. And the Vermont sideline incredulous that the Bearcats will get the throw. Official telling the sideline to ask the Vermont player, I guess Gardner in that case. Official stops time to get Megan Baker to go back. Buckwalter couldn't control for the Bearcats. Here's DeGroot. Buckwalter got it by Snyder. Kennedy has the angle to it. Carafoli has to get it away. Again, under 4 to go. Martillo intercepts. Snyder back to midfield. Gardner marked up there by Baker. And Baker knocks it out of play. Not a terrible play there by Baker. At least slowing down a potential Vermont attack as time ticks away. Krempowski back to Falvo, who gets it in the air. Luke and Warren got under it. Now Martillo and Oviedo after it. Some contact between those two. Martillo gets a helping hand from Oviedo. 3 minutes to go. Garofalo, lone line drive. Martillo, nifty chip. Garofoli against the wind, didn't go too far. Off the bounce, Victoriano gets it back to Blanco. Snyder over, just over Paige Luke to get the header on that one. Falvo settles under it. DeGroot waiting to see where it lands and steers it back to Auditori. There's Luke. Able to get it away from Auditori. The time it took, though, allowed Remington to step up on it. Garofalo back to midfield, under 2 to go. Gardner. Martillo takes an angle on that one that allows her to slide it along the near sideline. It heads out of play, right to the hands of Snyder. Krempowski boots this one away. Again, a tie does not do Vermont much good. It clinches the America East title for Binghamton. Buckwalter taken away to Martillo. A minute to go, Martillo seemingly in no hurry. And Vermont with control with 49 seconds left. Off the throw, Gardner can't advance, knocked down by Buckwalter. Krempowski. And Binghamton with possession. Garofalo takes some instruction from her bench, but time now down to 20 seconds. Luke will try to run it out here. Bearcats 8 seconds away from the America East regular season championship. It's 3rd in 4 seasons, and that will do it. The Bearcats take it. A 1-1 tie, but the